One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.
So I think it first starts actually with my existing relationship with Dino Babers as my head coach, and the fact that he knew that if he had an opportunity to do something better for himself, his career, and his family, that I'm going to help him. I'm not going to hold it against him that he's trying to leave me. And so having that relationship is important. So I understood where he was in any type of process. Whether he was actually in something or whether he was thinking about being in something. So we had a great relationship, and that's where that starts. I'd probably say about week. So all season I knew we were going to be good. I mean, we'd already been to the championship game 2 years in a row. Well, there's not too many teams in the country that have played 14 games in a football season back to back to back. So I'm feeling good about our progress. I know that there's going to be an opportunity for people to want the Bowling Green State University head coach. And so probably around week 8 is where I really got serious and earnest about my research. And that's, the offense that we ran is really up-tempo. And so statistically, I would research, who's doing what we want to do from the numbers, not like actual style or is it a run, is it a pass, but statistically, who's doing the type of things. Like, so in other words, our coaches, or our players rather, being conditioned to do something. It's got to be a good fit for everybody. And so as I did that, I would spend my Sundays as the coaches are cutting film and going over everything. I'm looking at film from a different side. I'm watching post-game press conferences, anything I can get my eyeballs on. I'm watching post-game press conferences of coaches. I'm watching post-game press conferences of players, so I can have a feel for how these young men are prepared and they handle themselves, and that's a sign of the leadership that they're working under. I'm watching any kind of videos, and in this case, just kind of Reader's Digest version. I'm led to Texas Tech. They're always plus or minus 5, among some other schools, of course. But Texas Tech is always, they just keep popping up as I'm looking at it. And so as I go to, literally I go to the coaching page and say, well, who's there? And because obviously I'm not going to, I don't think I'm going to pull Cliff from Texas Tech to come here. So who's there? Who's the architect that's part of all this? And so as I do my research there, I'm intrigued by this guy, Mike Jinks, associate head coach. He was a running backs coach for 1 year, and then he's promoted to associate head coach, and that was in his second year of doing that. So 3 years there. Prior to that, he was in high school in the state of Texas and athletic director in the state of Texas. So he's got I'm thinking that, you can't just get by in the state of Texas with football and being an athletic director at the high school level. You got to be doing something. He's the coach of the All-Star game and the Army All-American game in the Alamo Dome. And so he's got some stuff to him, right? So then I'm checking video. He's got an amazing mic'd up at practice video where you can just see the emotional intelligence this guy has in how he connects with the kids on the field, how well-spoken he is with the camera, how comfortable he is talking about his transition. He was just incredibly impressive with everything I could get my hands on to read and or see in a video format. So fast forward to, the last week where we're going into we're going into the championship week, and I got a hold of Kirby. I'm friends with Kirby Holcutt, the athletic director. Gave him a shout, and I said, "Hey, I don't know anything about Mike Jinks, but here's what I think. Bam, 1, 2, 3, ABC." And he basically confirmed what I thought. I reached out to, later that week, Cliff, the head coach, and my interaction with Cliff previously, my interaction with Kirby is, at professional conferences and meetings. My interaction with Cliff, we shared a cab on the way to an event with athletic directors and head coaches one time. And so I reached out to him and I just said, what can you tell me about him and this and that? And he told me, well, he's going to be a head coach. It'll really hurt me to lose him. and he said, he's like my head coach. And when I'm after practice, we go behind closed doors and we break it down, just me and him. So he really is an advisor of some sort. So it's confirmed everything. Like, I got to talk to this guy. So that's what it's telling me. So I believe we play on Friday. So I believe on Thursday, I texted Kirby and I basically, said that, I'm going to do my due diligence. If I lose my guy, after the championship game, I want Mike Jinks to know that he'll be my primary target. I want him to know that I will not, likely that I won't use a search firm. He won't need an agent, and I will be in Lubbock within 36 hours. And so Dino let me know on Saturday morning, and then I was in Lubbock on Sunday. I invited Meredith, Mike's wife, to join us. I had my senior associates with me, and it was a fantastic meeting. You're looking for the fit. The X's and O's piece at this point is not even really what we talked about, other than we did talk about tempo and argue about who ran more plays, or who was faster. But it was a great feeling. That's the opportunity where I let him know exactly what we have. Here's the budget. Here's our roster. It starts with him understanding, and I'm able to see, like, how does he feel about who's coming back, who's leaving, what do we have, and that ties into the whole your relationship with your coach in that process of being upfront. And so that's kind of a Reader's Digest version of how I got connected. Mike Jinks and Meredith Jinks never lived outside of the state of Texas, so that was, I don't know. And we had other people we talked to and this and that, which you do due diligence, but I just had a gut feel about him. And hey, we're undefeated right now, so it's worked out so far. I mean, I'm excited about every day, the staff he's put together, and the way these young men are responding to this. And look, I didn't come here to be second. Mike Jinks didn't come here to be second. These kids didn't come here to be second. And so we're not trying to work on what we're going to look like in 5 years. We are concerned about what we look like in 5 years, and we're trying to win right away. And I think Mike brings that philosophy, that energy. He's doing some excellent things with the way ahead and building this roster for the future. But he's also looking at how we're going to go down to Columbus and beat Ohio State in week one, Labor Day weekend. So it all starts with with that relationship. And here's the bottom line. My job is to match resources to expectations. I got to match resources to expectations. If we're going to do this, that, and the other thing, I need to provide it. My job is to make sure that my head coaches have everything that they need and a lot of what they want. When I got here and I sat down with Chris Bergeron, our head hockey coach, and I was probably here, I think I was announced, but I hadn't had my press conference yet. I can't remember. I just met up with him in the ice arena, and I sat down with him, and I said, hey, I'm going to make sure you have everything that you need, because this program has a history. We won a national championship. There's 60 teams. There's 60 hockey teams, Division I hockey. We're going to do this. We're going to do it again. In fact, it's in our strategic plan that we're going to do it within the next 5 years, a national championship with either an individual or a team sport within the next 5 years. And I think hockey's got a real shot at that. And I asked him, you're going to have everything you need. What do you want? And all he said to me is full. And I said, what do you mean? Full. I want this place to be full. So that's what we do each and every day. Everything I do for that hockey program is for what he wants. I try and do promotions to fill it when it's, students are out of session. We work on everything I can do to make it full. I can't coach anything anymore. I can't play anything anymore, but I can try and buy a championship. And that's my job. My job is to support them with our resources. And if I can match the resources to the expectations, they know that I'm doing what I said I'm going to do, and it helps our relationship.
And that's today's one question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.